Everyone remembers Pythagoras for one thing, a simple mathematical equation taught in classrooms around the world. But that isn't why people traveled hundreds of miles to learn from him. Long before he became associated with geometry, Pythagoras was known as one of history's greatest teachers of how to live. Kings sought his advice. Students devoted years of their lives to learning from him. His followers didn't gather to solve equations. They gathered to become better people. Because Pythagoras believed something that modern science is only now beginning to fully understand. Your life is not shaped by your biggest decisions. It is shaped by the small things you repeat every day. The habits you practice quietly become the character you carry everywhere, and eventually, they become your destiny. Most people think success begins with motivation. They wait for the perfect morning, the perfect opportunity, the perfect mindset. Pythagoras would have disagreed. He believed action comes first. Motivation follows. One saying often attributed to him captures this perfectly. Choose the best way to live, and habit will make it pleasant. Read that again. Habit will make it pleasant. Not easy, not exciting, pleasant. The things that feel uncomfortable today become natural tomorrow if you practice them long enough. The first workout is difficult. The 100th becomes part of who you are. The first page of a book requires discipline. Eventually, reading becomes something you miss when you don't do it. This is how habits quietly reshape a life. Every action you take is more than something you do. It is something you become. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen that part of yourself. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you strengthen something else. Most people believe they are making choices. Pythagoras would say, your choices are making you. Think about that for a moment. The person you become 5 years from now won't be determined by one incredible decision. It will be determined by thousands of ordinary ones. Whether you woke up when your alarm sounded, whether you finished what you started, whether you chose learning over entertainment, whether you kept your word. Character is built so slowly that most people never notice it happening, until one day they look in the mirror and realize they have become someone they never intended to be. Pythagoras believed this happened because people allowed their lives to become disordered. His students lived by routines. They trained their minds. They trained their bodies. They studied music, mathematics, philosophy, and ethics, not because those subjects were separate, but because they believed a well-ordered life required balance. To them, discipline wasn't punishment. It was harmony. The same harmony they believed existed throughout nature. Look around the world. The seasons follow patterns. The tides follow patterns. The stars move with astonishing consistency. Nature succeeds through rhythm. Yet modern life teaches us to chase intensity instead. We work ourselves into exhaustion. We promise ourselves tomorrow will be different. We start over every Monday, then wonder why nothing changes. Pythagoras would probably tell us that intensity is overrated. Consistency is what changes people. One workout won't transform your body. One conversation won't transform your marriage. One book won't transform your thinking. But hundreds of them will. Small actions repeated over years become extraordinary results. History rarely celebrates consistency, but consistency quietly builds every successful life you've ever admired. Perhaps the most powerful lesson from Pythagoras wasn't something he taught during the day. It was something he practiced every night. Before sleeping, his students were encouraged to ask themselves 3 simple questions. What did I do well today? What did I do poorly? What should I do differently tomorrow? That's it. No guilt. No excuses, no pretending, just honest reflection. Imagine doing that every night for a year. Not judging yourself, simply observing yourself. You would begin noticing patterns, the excuses you repeat, the habits that help you, the people who lift you up, the distractions that quietly steal your time. Most people drift through life because they never stop to examine it. Pythagoras believed self-awareness was the beginning of self-mastery. You cannot improve what you refuse to examine. That lesson may be even more important today than it was 25 centuries ago. Our attention is constantly being pulled away from ourselves. Notifications, social media, endless entertainment. The world encourages us to observe everyone else's life while ignoring our own. But wisdom has always required looking inward first. Not to criticize yourself, but to understand yourself. Because once you understand your patterns, you can begin changing them. And once your patterns change, your future changes with them. The truth is, your life today is probably less a reflection of your goals than it is of your routines. Goals inspire us. Habits transform us. Dreams point us in the right direction. Daily actions determine whether we ever arrive. That is why Pythagoras cared so much about ordinary days. He understood that extraordinary lives are built from ordinary moments, not dramatic breakthroughs, not lucky opportunities, just countless small decisions made when no one is watching. More than 2,500 years have passed since Pythagoras walked the earth. Empires have risen and fallen. Technology has transformed nearly every part of human life. But human nature hasn't changed nearly as much as we think. We still struggle with distraction. We still chase comfort. We still wait for motivation. And we still underestimate the incredible power of the habits we repeat every single day. Maybe that's why his wisdom has survived for so long. Because it reminds us of something both simple and difficult. You don't become extraordinary through one extraordinary act. You become extraordinary by repeating ordinary acts with extraordinary consistency. So, tonight, before you go to bed, try the same practice Pythagoras gave his students thousands of years ago. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What did I do poorly? What will I do better tomorrow? Those 3 questions won't change your life overnight, but if you ask them often enough, the answers just might.